3, 4, 5. Okay. Sweet. Let's go. And oh, hey, can one of you hand me a soda water? Hey, everybody. Brad, ahoy. Yeah, that's welcome. There we go. I'm gonna get my mic to caucus on. That's an SNL joke. Never mind. Thanks, Ben. Okay, sweet. All right, so welcome to class, everybody. And I apologize for the 5-minute late start. Every now and then, as some of you know, or as you've learned over time, I go to press the button that says start streaming, basically, and the whole system crashes. And I don't know why. I don't know why. I embrace it. I usually sort of take it as the universe saying, like, are you sure? But I am sure about tonight's class, and I do. There we go. I do feel pretty good about it. So, a little bit about how we got here, and Tara and Ann are joining me tonight. They're off camera right now. There, Tara just walked onto the scene there, and we're having fun with green screens tonight. Okay, so I always teach this class based on my experience, and in the personal realm of my life right now, things are pretty cool. Things are pretty good. In the sort of realm of my relationship to society, things are a little confused. Like, things feel a little weird for me. Like, they feel weird as far as like how I'm engaging it. They feel weird about how I feel about it. All these things, and it's really been kind of perplexing me, and it is kind of a depressing time if you're a fan of peace right now. Anyway, but whenever I have these moments, like, one of the things that I like to, like, the fun way I like to think my way out of it is to think, like, okay, well, what is this, like, do I have some sort of trickster guardian angel that is presenting these issues for me to solve them? That it's quirky and weird and it's hard for me to understand because that's what's being asked of me to learn. And so I've been thinking that way. And in the My Dance stories, the sort of teacher spirit, and by that I'm meaning it'd be like, Tara is a movement teacher and has taught different modalities. I teach, and Ashua, the character, the teacher, is sort of like that element of all of us, and she could have a totally different look to Tara than to whatever, but it's that sort of like, it's the character that you draw up the character of your sort of highest teacher, and not someone maybe that's existed, but someone, that in this deeper way, in this like sort of soulful or astral way. And so that's the sort of spirit of what the type of class I want to have tonight, where we're stepping into experience each song and whatever as a teachable moment, and then of course I'm going to talk a little bit about Ashua herself and set up the vibe so you get it. But tonight will be, hey Carla, tonight will be mostly a more flow-based class. So I have to refine my playlist, but that's going to take 2 seconds, don't worry. Yeah. Oh, no, I can't. Oh, shucks. Okay. Let's, there's where Tara's not. Oh, she's putting Rex away because he's not the biggest fan. Okay, here we go. This is what I want. Okay, let's get started. Hey, Dorothy. Audible breath in. Joseph Campbell really helped me see what I thought was crazy about me in a more clear and understandable way. through his writings and lectures online, I learned that I wasn't crazy to want to be like people that may have never existed. Because they may never have existed on the physical plane, but they very much lived in our imaginations and in our astral planes. Audible breath in. If we accepted, according to Joseph Campbell, that we could be a character in our story, the lead character, then it could open us up to appreciate other stories of other lead characters. And that the stories of some lead characters may affect us so profoundly that we feel as though we embody them. What would the Buddha do? Audible breath in. And so tonight, in that spirit, in the lightness and depth of that, I invite you to step into a space of learning, either as the teacher or the student, teaching yourself something tonight, or learning. Audible breath in. I've been teaching a long time. And something I believe that Ashua, her character, brought to me was an appreciation and a gratitude for fresh eyes on my own teaching. Not shifty eyes, not darting eyes, but fresh eyes that could stare deeply into my teaching. Audible breath in. Ashua, the teacher, this vessel of encouragement and wisdom. And you trust Ashua because you know that she's trying her best to reach you, to teach you in the way of your learning. You trust her for the good and the stern and the unexpected advice she gives you. Audible breath in. Open. Audible breath in. All right. Rita from Mexico. Lindsay's here. Anastasia's here. Sweet. Okay. For you guys, just so we're clear, Tara and Rex are here. Rex is back in now that that horrible sway shit's over. And then there's Ann and Tara. Here we are. Tonight we got all the cameras working, so should be good. Okay. All right. So, oh no. Okay. I'm proud to say that I've already hooped a little bit today. Hey Rachel, how you doing? Yeah. Thank you. All right. So let's get started. Okay, so here's the way these Ashua classes usually work. We've actually done these before on the stream. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I think I got everything dialed in tonight. I worked on this today so that Tara said that the classes are better when I'm relaxed about how everything looks, so I'm going for it tonight. And I can already see some things I'm not crazy about, but okay, sweet. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about we're in the spirit of the Ashua spirit tonight, which is, I just want to be clear that, like, you know, if you want to have fun with us and jump into the creative aspect of this, that, you know, you can pick teacher role, you can pick student role, you can pick both roles, you just sort of move between. And so, you know, okay. But in an Ashua class, the way that she taught, her connection to me, the character that I connect with is named Giancarlo. And Ashua is Giancarlo's immediate teacher. And because of tragic circumstances, Ashua teaches Jula the quiet and Giancarlo the channel at the very same time. And they pretty much raised as siblings. Ashua is definitely the first crush that Giancarlo ever had. And he thought that she was the most amazing being. Audible breath in. And the way that she would train Giancarlo and Jula was with one exercise at a time, one moment at a time. And she would keep things like unhurried. Audible breath in. Because she believed in pathways of discovery, and she believed that the more broad her swipes of the brush, that the more possibility that Giancarlo and Jula would self-discover. Audible breath in. For instance, an exercise of Ashua's would have been to take Jula and Giancarlo down to a beautiful, picturesque stream, a wide, shallow stream that rolled across these really black, shiny rocks. And then my dad would go to this powerful stream to sit and be with their thoughts, or be with the world around them. And Ashua would take Giancarlo and Giulia into the stream, and they would walk across those rocks. And Giulia could feel the cold water across her feet. Giancarlo could feel his foot try to find balance. Audible breath in. For our first exercise tonight, we are taking that walk. We are walking across cooling, comforting water. We are finding our footing. Audible breath in. All right. Any thoughts, comments, or questions, y'all, before I... Yeah, I was kind of digging that. I kind of sort of want to stay slow a little bit. Is that okay? All right, I think we're going to keep... We just voted to keep it a little slower for the next song. Just make sure I can find the track that would be great. Yeah, this will work. Okay. All right. So we are, again, if you're not following any of this narrative as I'm dropping it, it doesn't really matter. All of this stuff is just like all the stories and myth that you always hear. You know, at least the myth, the ones you accept as myth, they're all there to help be a vehicle. They're not the end, and they don't really need to be. We're all going to understand them differently anyway. I think I'll play a little something. I want to stay chill here. Okay. Audible breath in. Ashua had her own license to interpret what she understood to be the Maidan to Giancarlo and to Giulia. But she also felt an importance to make sure that they had the benefit of the full tradition of the Maidan knowledge. So Ashua taught them that their hands could be birds, as Anah had discovered. She taught them that their feet could be roots, as Anah had discovered. And she told them that their minds and hearts could take flight, as Saza had shown her. Audible breath in. Audible breath in. Space in front, she taught, was called Dayside. This is where the sun met Giancarlo and Jula. The part behind them that only their blind eye could see was the night. Ashua taught them that they swayed in both day and night, that their birds flew in both day and night, audible breath in. Audible breath in. Okay. All right. Wow, that's really big. Hold on. It is a little large. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm having like my own personal hoop experience right now, where I am just really feeling all of this slow motion. Although we are going to mix it up and we're going to go to different areas. I think we're going to. I'm going to stay here one more. And stay in sort of the spirit of our nice mythy class here. Hey, Danielle. Actually, maybe I'll set this up with just a little bit of setup. Okay, so since we are discussing right now, ways that Ashua directly imparted lessons to Jula and to Giancarlo, one of the lessons that she imparted, they both interpreted very, very differently. And that was when Ashua told them about basically tried to teach them the idea that they were this link between earth and sky. and that they could have elements of both of those within their movements. Audible breath in. One of the fundamentals of the way that I like of my teaching is openness and movement of the whole body. And the metaphor of the birds flying can really help you if you, like me, maybe are starting off a little trapped. But what really helped me is when I imagined, as Ashua suggested, that my hands were birds so that I could feel them fly. Audible breath in. Audible breath in.
Ooh, I see sunny days. Oh, I go that far. When the night is over, will
Audible breath in.
tell me that you've always been thinking of me? Indirectly you say to me, the hand of the night is not a hand for me. That's the most that I've ever heard from
Audible breath
another
in.
man. A wealthy man. That's the most that I've
Audible breath
ever
in.
heard from another man. A wealthy man. A wealthy man.
Audible breath in.
I still see sunny days. Oh, I go that far. When the night is dragging
Audible breath in.
on, maybe I will dream that you would tell me you've always been thinking of me. Indirectly you say to me, the hand is not a hand for me. Indirectly you say again, the hand of the night is not a hand for me.
Okay, let's see here. Nope. That's not what we want. Okay, any thoughts, comments, or ideas before I move on? Studio audience?
I love moving slow. Sustain slow.
All right. Anything? Okay. Well, I was actually going to speed it up quite a lot.
Great.
Okay, cool.
We're ready for the challenge.
Yeah, thanks. Okay. All right. All right. On the waist, do a little core hoop in here. You don't really have to have much of an imagination to imagine how the My Dan taught core hooping. They most definitely had drums. They most definitely took those cute little girls out to drums, put a hoop on them, and asked them to drum along. They would have told them that only the wind hears their mistakes right now. Audible breath in. Audible breath in. Rhythm, rhythm, rhythm. Reverse. Audible breath in. I read once, I'm trying to remember the name of it. I can't remember the name of the tribe right now, but I started studying this, and there was one culture I can't remember where they would talk about, they would stamp into the ground with their feet. Their sort of intentions for the next crop, which for them was basically the next year. And then they would at the same time throw up seeds and then stamp into the ground. And then this was sort of like the sort of basis of their celebration. And everything kind of came from that in the way that they danced. Just beautiful. Audible breath in. But we can think of that dance, we can honor that archetype by thinking about how we pick up and put down our feet. How we move our hands in space. Audible breath in. Come up, come up, come up, come up, come up. Back down. Little side note just for fun, if you haven't done this in a while, it's fun to walk your hands way out in front or way out, and just to feel how that changes your ritmo. Your ritmo is an old school HoopPath term, just basically means your physical rhythm. How having your hands. One thing that I immediately notice is that the further my hands get away from my core, the more my awareness shows up on my core. So I start to feel like what my abs are doing the more I move my hands away. And that whole idea is, of course, rich with metaphor. If I turn into the current, I'm cutting it. If I turn with it, let it roll me, I'm stalling. Turning against it, I'm cutting. Audible breath in. Good. The hoop could be anywhere on you. It doesn't have to be on the waist. I'm just keeping it at the waist because I like it. Oh, this is awesome. Yeah, that's 6 minutes of core hooping right there. Love the chill vibe. Yeah, it picked up. Didn't read it. That's what I worry about with the delay that we have. It's like, well, everybody's like loving the chill vibe right after I've kicked it up in real life. Do you guys have any thoughts or?
No, I was loving kind of stopping my feet.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, we're gonna go. Actually, we'll just. Okay, cool. Let's do a few more core, or at least one more. All right. 1 second. So you can start up around the waist. Okay. So this is probably obvious, but the reason the Maidan were passed on their stories as like hoop lessons. And so Jula and Giancarlo were raised with the story of Anea learning to core hoop. And I have told this story before. I'm not going to get super deep into it now. But it's a really fun story because it goes so well with our technique. All you have to do is imagine that you have been a very awkward individual inside of your skin because you just happen to be born enormous. You have been born huge in a world of small people. And the only person that can relate to you is your giant father. And unfortunately, he peacefully passes away. And there's no one else your size around. And you resent your size. You feel awkward in your skin because everywhere you go, everyone says, look how large she is. Audible breath in. Then the Maidan find her. They bring her back and say, oh, no, Anea. Your body's not a curse. It's a blessing for this entire order of us. Your size is your gift. And you can give it to us. Audible breath in. And so they taught Anea to first learn to hoop by taking her into this really beautiful lake. And she walks in, and your hoop is going to be the depth of the water that she's in. And she's enormous. And the Maidan sisters around her, they all say, swirl the water around you, Anea. Swirl the water around you. And Anea starts to giggle and laugh, as young girls do. And because she's so big and so strong, she starts to swirl the water around them. Even the other Maidan start to gravitate towards her. And then the Maidan sisters encourage her, and they say, take step back into the water, Anea, step back into the water. And Anea lets the water rise. One way you can think about your hoop chi, and you can move your feet to do it, but one way to think about your hoop chi, you can think about a rising tide. You can think about this water level rising, and you are getting up under the water to bring the surface of it up. So when I want to bring the hoop up, I'm kind of digging down with my motion into it. The side points really help me too. Nice. To feel the lower ribs, my most southern ribs, to let them dip into the water. They're going to kind of splash the water up. Boom. And just had a breakthrough. How so?
I was able to like around my middle back.
Ah. It's an old school, like super old school hoop thing to do. But I used to do it, other people used to do it, where you would sort of sleight of hand with your hands. So let's say that I'm a Nea, and I'm getting badass control of this water, and I want to bring my hands all the way down to the surface of the water so I can actually feel the air that's rippling off of the current down there. And then I can look at, anyone on the shore there, and I can start to bring my hands up. I'll tell you, this might be the silliest of suggestions I have, but this actually works for some people. So what can help some people get their chi? You see how my hand, I'm gonna take my hands like this, and I've got one, there's a space between them. I'm gonna roll them over so that I'm doing something like this, right? And then what I'm going to do is, as I'm making that motion, as I'm trying to chi up, I'm imagining that every pass of this is like right rib, left rib, whatever, helping me get up. I'll show what I mean. Now, I'm standing still, but that doesn't really matter. I mean, it's a little bit harder, but that's not, we all have different kind of landscapes. If shoulders isn't your thing, you can play with chi on the waist and going down to the legs. And nice T. There she goes. Sweet. Okay, so wherever you want to stay, but if you're not having luck with the shoulders, but you want to work on the legs, I can bring the hoop down and then chi it back up, and then let it go back down. For me, the water analogy is really helpful. You can imagine your feet have to really be rooted underneath. They're going to have to move a little bit more strongly than your hands, because your hands are up here. There's like zero friction up here. So I'm rooting into my feet. I'm trying to make sure that there's no block with my hands about what energy I'm creating. I don't want to hold them so that I'm blocking. Remember, I want to throw seeds as much as I want to stomp them into the ground. One of the things I like to do, this is just for fun, is to sort of do the sort of like, paintbrush type movement with your hands. You can alternate, so that like, as I'm getting, oops. truthfully, the quicker you bring action to your hands, the better your core hooping gets. Holding them still is actually probably the bigger block than moving them erratically. How much time do we have? Okay, we got a minute left. If anyone's still with us, let's try some angles. So we're here. This is my favorite. Anea is this big, beautiful, young Maidan. And to teach her angles, they get her laughing, and she just starts laughing, and she's just, and so she laughs, she just, falls forward in laughter, holding her stomach, and her big stomach just slaps to the surface of the water. She could feel it, being pushed up by her laughing body on her night side. But then she can't stop laughing, and she reaches back and she looks up at the sky, and she just cannot stop laughing, and the water just starts to splash up and out over her laughing belly. These are big splashes. And then we as hoopers can barrel roll, turn, and then turn again. Okay. All right. I feel like that was good, though. Yeah. I don't feel like we need to keep it quite that up now. Okay. Okay. Actually, we're kind of in the. I hope we're still live. Nobody's commenting. You're probably tired from all the choreography that we just did. Okay. Yeah, let's put on. We'll just put something on for a free hoop now, and let everybody take a break.
Woo!
Sweet, thanks, Jackie. All right, we're going to move into our free hoop now. Thank you guys for joining us. I at least will be back on Thursday for sure. If you have any sort of power in the universe, I need you to manifest a Tar Heel win. If you really don't care who wins tonight, pull for the Tar Heels. Sweet, thank you, Shayna. Thank you, Carla. Nice, Jenna. Sweet. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. Yeah. I think we have our first chat troll. I thought that could go sideways. That's kind of funny. The great doubles in, you get some love. All right. I know we're kind of into our sort of overtime here. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you, Tara and Ann, for joining me. Rex, we appreciate your support, buddy. Anne is wearing green. That's why this keeps happening. You're welcome, Claire. Thank you. Yeah, it's green on the screen. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Oh, sweet. Mama Tortilla. you, Anastasia. Nice to see you again. Thank you, Jennifer. Tara with some balance. Nice. Okay, so one thing I want to say before we get into our very last song is that I've been given some advice from, or some input from Ann and Tara, and they think it would be a good idea, and I agree with them that maybe I should plan out the next few Thursday classes and make the Monday classes more flow-based and Maidan-based and advanced technique, kind of like what we're doing. So if you have a request for what you'd like to see in the next upcoming weeks of class, hopefully something that's not too time sensitive so I could push it wherever, then that would be good. But I think what we'll try is maybe for the next 4 weeks of Thursdays, have a sort of goal of what technique we're actually going to talk about, and you'll know ahead of time. And so I'd love to do a calendar. So if you have any input on that calendar, just let me know. This will be the last song.
I feel the pain every time you have to go away. So please say you're gonna miss me. There'll be an empty space where you used to be. Say you're gonna miss me. Say you're gonna miss me. Say you're gonna miss me. There's an empty space where you used to be. You're good.
Jennifer, if you do like this song, look for it on SoundCloud. It's definitely on SoundCloud. It's in my iTunes, but I found it on SoundCloud.
Say you're gonna miss me.
Okay, thanks guys. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Let's see. Let's wave goodbye to everybody. Let's see which one's. There we go. There's a good one. All right. Good night, guys. Thank you.